Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my hair loss experience. Now I know with treatments for cancer, chemotherapy, hair loss is probably one of the most difficult side effects emotionally. There are a lot of other side effects when it comes to chemotherapy, but I think definitely hair loss, especially for women, is extremely difficult. So I thought I would backtrack to when I lost my hair. It's only been a few weeks. I lost my hair 13 days after my first chemotherapy. I know it's different for everyone, and not all chemotherapy regimens actually result in hair loss. There's some that your hair just thins, but the one that I'm on, I did lose all of my hair. Now right now, I don't know if you can see, I still have a light layer, and I just had my second round of chemo. So when I'm filming this, so the rest is probably gonna fall out soon. So I would just tell my story, and if anyone's watching this that is going through this or is about to go through this, know that you're not alone, and it is heartbreaking, scary, all of the above, but you will get through it. And I actually found that the anticipation of losing my hair actually was worse for me than when I actually lost my hair. So hopefully that might give you some comfort. But anyways, let's get into it. When I went and saw my oncologist initially, when they told me I was gonna be doing chemotherapy, he went over different side effects from my specific chemo regimen. And the first thing he said was, you're gonna lose your hair. And that whole appointment, I kept it together, but for some reason that triggered some crying. And even though there was other side effects that were much more serious and should be more scary, I was really scared to lose my hair. So like I said, my hair loss started 13th day after my first chemotherapy. So I had my first chemotherapy on March 26th, and then 13 days later was when I started losing my hair. So I was actually hospitalized a week after my first chemo. I had febrile neutropenia, and I started to notice the last day that I was in the hospital that my hair was coming out, and it wasn't coming out in huge clumps yet. It was just more frequent strands, and whenever I really tugged at my hair or really ran my fingers through it, more than 1 or 2 strands was coming out. And when I got out of the hospital, that was a Wednesday, so the Thursday was when the majority of the hair loss started, and I was prepared. My oncologist had said that most people, especially on this regimen, lose their hair after the first round, and the rest who haven't lost it all in the first round lose it all by the second. So I was mentally preparing myself for it, but when it actually happens, it's still really difficult to process, and I wasn't really anticipating that it would happen so rapidly, going from one day only a couple of strands coming out into the next day where big clumps were going out even when I moved my hair. It was a lot. So I'm gonna show you some pictures of that day. So also I want to mention, I know it's different for everyone, but for me, they said that I would get a sensitive scalp, and I did get a sensitive scalp, but it was almost as if, how I can describe it is, if you've ever gotten a sunburn on your head, it kind of felt like that sensation. It was a little sensitive to the touch. So it started right in this general area, and it was mostly in my part. Actually, that started happening maybe a week before the hair loss, but the pain got more when on this specific day when I was losing a lot of hair. I ended up taking some pictures of the huge clumps that resulted. Watching your hair fall out is really difficult to go through, and I was really emotional that day. And so the wig store that I actually ended up getting my blonde wig, which I showed in my cap and wig video, and if you've watched some of my videos, I've worn it in a couple of my vlogs. They were kind enough to offer to shave my head when the time came. So I ended up calling them, and shout out to Allison, she was amazing. She called me back and told me to come in the next day if I wanted to. So I decided, even though I still had quite a bit of hair, I noticed Thursday evening I was starting to get a bald spot at the back of my head, and my part was starting to get wider. So I don't know if I have a comparison picture of the day before when I got out of the hospital, and then a picture of what my part looked like at the end of the day Thursday. And when I looked in the mirror and saw that bald spot, it really scared me and I cried. Definitely Thursday night was the hardest because I could just feel hair all over me, and I felt like it was coming out at such a rapid rate that I couldn't control it and I couldn't prevent it from happening. And I knew what was coming the next day, and one, I was scared what I was going to look like bald, if I was going to be ugly, and two, I had this hair on my head for 21 years and it was just gone. It was just going to be gone in an instant. But the thing that comforted me was I had the option to actually donate the hair that I still had left, and that hair would go towards making a wig for, I was told, possibly a child with cancer. So someone younger than me going through something similar, they would have the chance of getting a wig with my hair in it. So I always had wanted to do that when I was younger, but I never really had the opportunity. So I was really glad that this time I could do that. So that was also why I wanted to go get it cut before more and more started falling out, because I did have really thick hair to begin with. So I wanted to donate as much as I could, and I knew that it was going to fall out eventually. And also the other reason was I just couldn't watch it fall out anymore. So the day that I lost my hair, my mom actually took a video of it, so I'm gonna insert that here. So when I got there, I was feeling really nervous and really sad because obviously I knew the next time I was gonna go home, I was not gonna have any hair anymore. And like I said before, I was scared if I was gonna look ugly, bald. There was just a lot of unknowns. So when I sat down to get my haircut, Allison asked me if I wanted to do the honors and cut the first ponytail. So that is what I did, and I'm really glad that I did that because it was empowering. I've heard a lot of people say that when they shave their head, when they're going through chemotherapy, it's like taking the power back. Chemo doesn't win. Shave your head yourself. So I don't think I could have done the whole thing myself. I was too nervous, but I'm really glad that I got to cut the first piece. I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think by the end I had about 9 little ponytails that I was able to donate, which made me feel really good about the whole situation. And if I had to lose my hair, I was really happy that something good came out of it. So how am I feeling about it now? So it's been a little over 3 weeks since I lost my hair, and honestly, after I lost my hair, it was like a big sigh of relief. I didn't have to watch it fall out anymore. Of course, there was still little hairs when she shaved it. The reason why she didn't shave it right down to the scalp is there's a higher chance of getting ingrown hairs, and if you get ingrown hairs, that's prone to infection, and since your immune system is really depleted on chemo, then it's just best to leave a little bit of hair. So I had sort of like a buzz cut, so I still had lots of that hair falling out, but eventually it came to this, which I showed earlier in the video, and it doesn't bother me as much anymore. And I have those wigs and I have caps. I'm doing okay with it. Obviously, it's not something that you want to have happen, but I'm doing a lot better and coping a lot better with it than I thought I would be. And at the end of the day, you learn that it's just hair and that it's gonna grow back after your treatment. As I'm filming this video, I still have 12 more rounds of chemo left, so I'm gonna be bald for quite some time. But like I said, I'm okay with it. I actually think some days I look better bald than when I had my hair, so that's one way to look at it. I think losing my hair, along with, you know, being diagnosed with cancer and going through all this, is only making me stronger and making me appreciate things more. And I know when my hair does grow back, it's gonna be really exciting and I'm going to really cherish having my hair, if that makes sense. And if you're going through cancer or you've just been diagnosed with cancer and you know you're gonna lose your hair and you're anticipating it, I hope this video helped, and I hope it helped ease your mind and maybe make you think that it's not as bad as it seems. I know, like I said earlier, the anticipation is the worst part. You don't know what you're gonna look like bald, you're not gonna know what it's gonna feel like, and for me, like, I just wanted it to be over and done with, and when it is, it's kind of liberating. Just know that you're not alone, and so many people that are going through the same thing. You're gonna get through this. You don't have cancer, or you're not bald, or you're not anticipating going bald. I hope you learned something. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. I am trying to post 2 videos a week. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.